Hey, what's up everybody? Cody Hunter here from Hunter Coaching Lab. And I've just finished up at the barber shop for the day, which is one of my favorite things to do. And just so much going on there. I mean, my brother's out there who goes to barber shop. How good is it, right? So I used to go to a lot of hair shops. A lot of the times there'd be a lot of talking, a lot of noise everywhere, lots of people everywhere. The barber shops I go to tend to just want to get down to business, right? You don't check your cell phone. The cell phone stays in your pocket. You basically look at yourself in the mirror or look around the shop as much as you can. And I found that today to be an awesome opportunity to do some reflecting on some memories. Now, what really prompted this, for one, was actually I have some huge scars on my body. You know, I've got a scar here on my head that goes from ear to ear. I've got scars on my knees. I've got scars everywhere. So what this did was I started to think, you know, which scars do I have that have taught me the most lessons and that have had the biggest impact on my life? Now I'm talking physical scars because this is where I was in this stage. And I have a lot of them. I mean, playing sports and being an athlete, there's scars everywhere. I've been under the knife many, many times. And the most interesting story to some people may be the one that how I got my face peeled off and put back together because I caved my skull in, but that didn't teach me too much. That was a sports injury. It taught me just to be careful and not headbutt people otherwise. But there's a scar here that taught me a lot of lessons, and I want to share it with you because it's a really tough one close to my heart. Now, when I was around 16 years old, the whole, let's say, the way you acted and the way you behaved around your brothers, for example, was very different to the way it is now as an adult. Now, my brothers and I, we were very, very physical. My older brother taught us a lot of lessons, if you know what I mean. My younger brother was very mouthy, and I was kind of in the middle trying to figure out, do I copy my older brother and bully the heck out of my younger brother, or do I do this, or do I not do it at all? Anyway, this is a bit of a transition stage. So being the middle brother, but my younger brother used something in mine, something totally silly, and I needed it to go to my rugby practice. So it was full of dirt and it was muddy and wet. So I was angry. I was super angry. And most of you that know me now know that I'm not really an angry guy, but I went through a bit of a stage of experimenting with it, I suppose. So I confronted my brother. We'd just finished our dinner and I was about to go to rugby practice. And I said, look, man, did you wear my clothing yesterday? Because I need that today. And he probably said something that I can't repeat on camera here. So then I went on the defensive mode, right? So basically we had a fight. And we're in the kitchen at this stage. I physically harm him a little bit, you know, like big brothers do. He reaches for the first thing he could find in that place. And you know what that was? It was a large carving knife. It was a knife that was used to carve up the meat that evening for dinner. He held that knife at me and said, "Come on!" Wow, this is a true story. From there, I grabbed his hand that was holding the knife. Bad news. What he did was a bit of a reflex, right? Which in the end was amazing. We'll get to that. He pulled the knife away out of my hand. What it did was cut my hand, or maybe you can't see it, but I've got a scar here that goes right through to the other side where the knife chopped into my body, and blood was all over the floor and all over the place. And obviously he panicked and ran off, and I panicked and wrapped my hand, and my mother said, and she panicked and didn't know what to do. So we wrapped it up to go to the medical center where I'm from, a small country town, to get things fixed up. Now, I'm super sorry for this event to happen, especially to my younger brother at that stage. He must have been like 12 or 13. There's blood everywhere. It was 100% my fault. So what this scar has really, really taught me, you know, I needed to get stitches, and I also needed to travel to another town because I live in the countryside. It was an hour-and-a-half drive to get some stitches in and get this fixed up at like 7 p.m. at night. But the things that this taught me, it taught me that anger was not the answer. Like I think I was just following the lead of everyone else. Everyone's angry and bullying everyone at school and doing this thing. So I thought that's the way to act. I learned that, you know, that situation, my brother would have got blamed for that because I'm the one who got hurt. That was 100% my fault. That should never have ever happened, that event. And the worst thing, that's the most mind-boggling part about that story, is imagine if he never pulled that knife away. Imagine if we wrestled with that knife, a large, you know, butcher's knife. Where could that knife have ended up? Would it ended up in someone's neck, someone's arm, someone's leg, someone's face? You know, that scar has taught me more than I could ever imagine. And you know, I have real regrets about that situation, and I apologize to my brother every day. And my brother and all my brothers, we all love each other a huge amount now, and we're best friends, and I'm super thankful for that, because these kind of situations here, you know, ultimately they built us to be as close as we are because we went through some stuff. But how bad could that have been? I mean, the more I think about it, you know, during the barbershop there, I'm reflecting on the situation, and my face is just dropping into the mirror. I'm feeling awful. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling like I just want to call my brother and just tell him again, you know, bro, I'm sorry, man. That was a shitty situation that we went through, and it could have been so much worse. So much worse. So guys, those scars tell some great stories, but what lessons do they teach you? You know, they teach a lot of lessons, some of them not so much, some of them are internal scars, emotional scars, whatever they are. But I want you to think about this. Now, I thank my brother for many positive things we went through in our lives, but I also need to thank my older brother and my younger brother for some of the shitty things, because that's what makes us who we are today. And you can't give them responsibility for all the bad things and not the good things. We have to thank them for both, okay? And so, as great as things are now with us and our family and how tight we are, it wasn't always that way. So, you know, really have a good check. If you've got kids, you know, really help them talk about things. Let them voice their things in a really, you know, in a really safe environment. Don't let them, you know, believe that anger is the only way. You know, you need to talk about these things, and we could have done much better at that. So, you know, at the end of the day, I know that I've got to really teach my kids the lessons I learned from those kind of scars, which could have been so much deeper. And I suppose I need to appreciate and take gratitude for those experiences. But man, pretty scary stuff, right? Pretty scary stuff. All right, guys, if you've got some scars, you know, things that you want to share. Now, I've been getting a lot of personal messages about certain questions and things I'm discussing, and thank you all for doing that. I really appreciate it. And please share them. And if you don't feel like you want to share these below in the comment section, which some of these things can be quite deep, then please personally message me. I'll be happy to discuss them with you. And it's really good to share. And I'm not a huge talker about my emotions or stories, but sharing this stuff with you has been really awesome. So I hope you get some value out of it. Now, team, take care. Look after those ones around you. Please love and care for your family, especially your brothers and sisters. And if you were growing up, had a tough time, please talk about it. Apologize for those shitty situations, because you can do that, and life will get home a whole lot better for everybody. My bros, if you're watching, I love you guys, and thank you for being there for the good and the bad, because that's what made us who we are today. Everyone, take care. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Cody Hunter from Hunter Coaching Lab, and I'm here to give you as much value as I can and help you see the light in some of the things that are bad today. Take care, everybody. Love you, Rick. See you later.